there's a giant muskie sitting right in front of me.
So I kind of messed up today. I was supposed to be here at the Shenandoah River about 3 hours ago. But I think sleep was just finally catching up with me. I've been on the run for the last week. I mean, I've been to Florida. I've spent about 30 hours in a car, about 30 hours behind a bar, 20 hours editing, probably 15 to 20 hours fishing. And I just needed some extra sleep. So right now it's 1 o'clock. I'm gonna have about 6 hours out here on muskie hunt number 8. And I'm feeling pretty positive about it. I've got a new bait to show you guys today. It's freaking insane. It looks wild. It's the biggest chatterbait I've ever seen. It's by these guys at TNA Tackle. So these guys at TNA Tackle sent me this wild looking chatterbait. Give me one second. There we go. And they call this the Angry Dragon. So it's, I'm assuming, like a 1.5 ounce jig head with a humongous chatterbait blade, and then it has these 2 skirts, which are some sort of haired skirt jigs, and then it has a big grub tail on here. This thing is probably, I don't know, 14, 15 inches long, and I'm gonna be throwing this around a bunch today. I just have a really good feeling about it. So between that and the jointed X-Wrap, and obviously some of these bigger rubber baits, hopefully we can get on a muskie today. Let's go. Alright guys, so I've been out here for about an hour now. I've seen one muskie, which was really deep on one of these huge boulders in about 20 feet of water. I've been throwing around the TNA Angry Dragon a bit. I'm feeling super confident throwing this thing. I mean, I can fish it so many different ways, like a chatterbait. I can fish it like a jig, kind of rip it off the bottom. I can do that pull pause technique, and I can kind of burn it, stop, burn it, stop. It's really easy to figure eight around the boat. I've also thrown the jointed X-Wrap, and I threw a Seabull for a while as well. Nothing yet, but hopefully we'll get on one today. Big carp right there, another big carp. Look how much action this chatterbait puts on this rod. Like, look at a straight reel. It's insane. So basically I've just been making drifts down this river. I'm using the trolling motor to get up to the shallower end, and then letting the current slowly pull me back, and then I'm just fishing my way down. Trying a bunch of different baits and techniques, figure eighting every single cast at the boat. I'm gonna try my best to stay out here till dark, or close to it. Getting this boat back on the trailer in the complete darkness would be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see what happens. Get that big smallmouth right there. I don't know if you can see it, it's a giant. Oh my God. Look at him go. Big smallie. It's probably 3 pounds. All right guys, so one of our subs, Aaron K, sent me an email about the figure eight. It was a pretty detailed description. I wanted to give him a huge shout out and thank you. So what it says is when your bait gets about 20 feet from the boat, you're gonna start reeling quicker. And 10 feet, put the rod tip in the water. And then you're gonna wanna initiate the figure eight with about 10 to 12 inches of line out from the bait, which was a big mistake I was making before. I was leaving too much line out. And he says that you want to do big figure eights with wide turns, because a big muskie has a hard time turning on a dime. So the wider the turn, generally the better. I'm only using a 7'6" rod. It says that longer rods are obviously better for that, but this is what I'm working with today. It said 3 kisses of death. 1 being too small of a figure eight. 2 is the rod hitting the boat. And 3 is killing the speed, because obviously a bait fish isn't going to slow down if a giant muskie is chasing it. So you want to maintain that speed that you're reeling, keep it kind of a faster figure eight, big, wide, quick figure eight. Honestly, I'm just hoping a muskie's gonna hit it on the retrieve. I don't want to have to catch a muskie doing a technique I really have very little experience doing, which is figure eighting. But I am putting in the time to learn today. Something else that Aaron was saying was that muskie can burst at a speed of 30 miles an hour, which is crazy. That's absolutely insane. Could you imagine a fish hitting your bait at 30 miles an hour? It would probably rip the rod out of my hand. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best not to let that happen, but God, that's gotta be exciting. Alright guys, I'm gonna give the Savage Gear Manic Prey jerkbait a shot here for a little bit. This is just straight white with a little bit of silver flash on the side. It's a sinking jerkbait. Looks good. That's a largemouth, two largemouth. Huh. I got 3 or 4 pounder right there. There's a bunch of largemouth up in this tree. It's pretty sweet. All right, so I haven't had a chance to string this rod up, but one of our subs, Scott, donated this rod to me for the muskie hunt. This is my first actual muskie rod. It's a Bass Pro Pete Mania 7.4 heavy action rod, and on here it says for crankbaits and bucktails, so I threw the TNA tackle giant chatterbait on there. It's pretty much the same thing as a bucktail, I'd say. So huge thanks to Scott. Thanks for hooking me up with my first muskie rod setup. I do need to get a 300 series reel like you said, but this is what I'm working with for now. But there you go. Thanks, dude. Maybe I'll get my first muskie on this bad boy. Hell yeah. This rod is so money. Scott, thanks again, man, for sending this over to me. The weighted butt of the rod makes it so easy to whip these baits around. It's very cool. Makes it easy to maneuver. And the extra long handle makes it easier for me to dip it into figure eight. Solid. This butt cap is actually 10 ounces, so it gets a lot of weight on the back of the rod, which makes casting big lures a lot easier. But it's funny because my Daiwa Zillion probably weighs half of what this one piece does. So the whole rod is like 3 or 4 times what my normal bass fishing rod is. It's pretty funny. But thanks, man. Gonna have to retie this.
Oh my god. Oh my god, there's a huge one right here.
There's a giant muskie sitting right in front of me. I'm gonna stand up slowly. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right there. I'm gonna put my sunglasses over top of the lens. See if you can see it better. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's right under the boat. I just tied this knot on this bait. Be very quiet. Oh my god, this is nuts. It's right in front of me. Oh, he's gone. Oh my God, that was, I was retying this bait. He was sitting really shallow right there. That was a pig too. I hope you guys could see that. Oh my God. He was sitting right up against that rock. Oh man. Well, I know I'm not going to be leaving this area anytime soon. Now let's get that big boy to eat. So earlier when I said that I'd seen a muskie, it was actually right here on this huge boulder out in front of the spot, right where I just ran into that one here. I was retying this angry dragon, and for some reason I just looked up at the rock and I saw it nosed into the rocks over here. I really hope you guys could see that thing. That was a big fish. I mean, at least we saw one. And now I kind of know where it's at, so I'm going to stick in this area for the rest of the day. I don't know how much they really move. I don't know if they're... I've heard and I've read that they're homebodies and they really stick around the same area. But I'm a noob, so who really knows? I just put on the big swim bait that Martin sent me. I'm going to throw this around for a little bit. Go back to the angry dragon and try a jerkbait a little bit too. All right, back to the angry dragon. Probably got another 30 minutes. Done for the day. Yep. We're finished up here on the Shenandoah, and unfortunately it was another muskie-less muskie hunt. Still had a great time out here today. It was a fun boat ride. I got to try out some new baits, I got to throw a new rod, and I got to practice the figure eight, the more proper way of doing it. And hopefully you guys can take something from that and learn a little bit, just like I am today. And again, every time I make one of these videos, I'm probably going to talk about this. I'm learning how to catch muskie from you guys. I'm not hiring a guide, I'm not doing a ton of reading, I'm learning directly from you. So that is kind of becoming the topic of this whole series, is that I'm learning how to fish for muskie from you guys. Anyways, I'm heading home. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.